I wanted to thank everyone for taking time out to be on this call. We are labeling this call leadership training. And there's a reason for that. And as I was sharing with Mrs. Carter, I believe when I came up with this mindset, with this thought process, uh, it's time for us to move to another level uh, as leaders, as people who are in this business that have taken the time, invested in the business, invested in themselves, and getting some results. So I'm gonna ask y'all to mute out just for a little bit, and then we can unmute the phone here in a second because of the background noise. But before I jump into it, what I wanted to share, because we understand that our words have power, but knowing the meaning of the words that we say is very important, because we could be saying something that is not applicable. It's not. It's out of ignorance. Okay, for lack of a better term, and we want to make sure that whatever we say, we're giving the proper credit where credit is due. And so I'm saying that is because something I learned today in church about the word GOAT, greatest of all time. And it was broken down. We've called Michael Jordan the greatest of all time. We've called other people that, and you know what? I'm not affiliated with Michael Jordan. Bless his heart. I met him one time, but I speak nothing but blessings over his life. But the gentleman that is our leader, our CEO, our visionary, we call him the GOAT. And I'm gonna give you the definition of a GOAT in the Christian sense, in the biblical sense, so that we're clear when we identify and edify Mr. Bugs. We are going to change our words on how we edify this gentleman, because he has done nothing but bless this community of business builders, business owners, people who are seeking to be significant in other people's lives. And so when we speak about him, we want to make sure that we're speaking about him in the proper mindset, in the proper edification. And so a goat, as a Christian symbol, represents oppressors, wicked men, and demonic forces. The goat also symbolizes unrepentant sinners who will be separated from God on Judgment Day, which is associated with the Bible, with the Bible verse, Matthew something. I didn't get the verse. So this is Google's definition. Now here's how the enemy plays you. The Google definition also has a positive connotation of the word goat. So the enemy is here to deceive and to destroy. He will deceive us in the mind, and we will be saying things that we did not even know that we were literally speaking over someone's life. So as the leader of this team and of this organization, when we speak of Mr. Bugs, we're going to edify that this gentleman has achieved great accomplishments. We're going to use other words. We're going to say that this gentleman has built leaders and people with significant value to the industry. We're going to say things of that nature instead of labeling him as the GOAT. And I appreciate Mr. Benson, you brought that to us, that terminology, and we ran with it because it just makes sense. But we don't know what we don't know. And so when I find out something that is that significant, in my opinion, to a person's what he's done, what he stands for, then I believe it's my responsibility as that leader to make sure that we're all clear on what we're saying. Because like I said, words do have power. Is that okay? Okay, cool. So if you want to unmute your phones, you can. If you guys can be quiet, that's cool, because this is an interactive training. This is going to be a Q&A. I got my pen and paper to take notes as well, because I want to move us from, go ahead, Mrs. Carter.
Will you give that definition again? Represents oppressors, wicked men,
and demonic forces.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It also represents or symbolizes unrepentant sinners. That means that people who don't believe they've done anything wrong, and they don't even ask for forgiveness. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just wanted to make, so when we speak, let's speak with proper edification, and that we know the words that we're saying are literally edifying that person to the utmost of what they've done and what they've achieved. That was the first thing I wanted to share with you guys. Only because I found that out this morning. But here's what's so crazy, or what's so powerful about this entire thing. Everything that Wendy preached on or taught on this morning, is in relation to what we're talking about today. And it's like it was validation for what this meeting was about. Okay. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you guys. So the purpose of, like I said, this meeting is really just to actually get everybody to a point of elevation, to move us from where we are to where we're going. And that takes more than just, that's not a physical move. That's more of a mental move than anything. And we know that. And so, as you guys know, I read my Bible, and this is not going to be a Bible study, but know this, and be clear, because you're going to hear this in the training. There is nothing that you can accomplish that is of value in the kingdom without God first. I hope I said that correctly. There's nothing that you can accomplish or should want to accomplish that is value in the kingdom without putting God first. And so there are prioritizations that need to take place, and there are things that need to take place. And so when we made the decision, when I talked to Mrs. Carr about having this training, it was like, okay, I started building out this agenda of what I was going to talk about. And then this morning in my reading, this is what was said. And it's amazing how it all came together for today. And so the devotional says, put God first. So I'm like, okay, so it's like he's saying something to me. Does that make sense? So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I read in my devotion. Then we're going to ask you guys some questions. So the devotional says, we started by identifying our priorities. We committed to fasting so that we can make room for more of God. The next step in the process of seeing God do immeasurably more through us than we could ever imagine, we put God first. This is what worship comes in. So the question to you guys is, what do we want from God? Do you want the favor of God, and do you want everything that God has for you throughout this business and all of your endeavors in your life? I do. Okay? I do. So I mean, you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to believe in this. But understand that if you want something and you want it to be of the kingdom, in other words, if you want it to be significant, if you want it to be of value to the kingdom, you've got to understand that there is a priority in place. God first, your family second, and then your wealth or your business building comes third. Okay? So what is worship? That was the next question. First, let's take a moment to acknowledge that worship is more than just singing songs. Singing songs is one of the spiritual disciplines that help us worship God, but that's not all. So what is worship? Worship is the act of putting God first. Or if we want to take a step back, we can define worship as the act of putting something first. So think about the list of priorities you create on your day. If you were honest, there was probably something in the top spot, the thing that you spend your most time on, the energy and attention on, that wasn't God. So for most of us, there will be times when the thing we worship is not God. That's a problem, especially if we're Christians, because what we worship has profound effects on how we live and how we treat people. Okay? So the spiritual discipline of worship is the act of choosing to put God first. So it's a choice. It's a choice, okay? It's a discipline because it isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Why? Because when we put God first, when we choose to worship him, it changes everything. Worship does two things. It proves our priorities. When we choose to worship God, we are making the right answer to what we value most, our real answer. That's what we value most in our heart. And then number two, worship unifies us with God and others. When we put God first, we start to see ourselves, others, and the world the way God sees us. When we start to see the way God sees, we start to love the way God loves. Worship doesn't just help us better love God. Worship empowers us to better love people. Okay? So if you want to see God do immeasurably more through you, than you could ever ask or imagine. First, you have to make room for God. You have to make room for God. Then you have to put God first. Then you worship. So when you're making room for God, that means that you're taking time. You're spending time with him. That's your meditation. And I want you guys to see the analogy or the comparison here. When the world went to hell in a handbasket, which is normal, that's what it does. It's more edified, it's more amplified now. But iBoomerang decided to do what at 8 o'clock in the morning, a meditation moment. Okay, that's significant. You know, they decided to put Boom Fit in place. Why? Because they understand you have to be physically fit to do this, to do the work. You also have to be mentally and emotionally fit. And so they put a time in there for meditation. There's a reason for that. Okay, that meditation might be, sometimes it might be motivational, and sometimes it's spiritual. But that's okay. It was there for a reason. So there are some priorities that you do. That's how we set our day. You know, so my day starts with reading. Okay, a devotional, some scripture. Okay, so the challenge is identify one thing you can do for the next 2 weeks to put God first. Maybe it's only listening to worship music. Maybe you start every morning by reading a Bible plan and praying. Maybe you choose to worship God through the tithe by putting him first with your money. Choose to do the one thing every day for the next 2 weeks that will help you put God first. So that was part of my devotion this morning. And I thought it was appropriate to open up this training because we're going to put God first. At least I know I am. And I always have, especially when things weren't going my way. It's like an humbling experience. When you're trying to achieve your goals in your life and you're on this journey, in this path, and you're trying to make your way to whatever it is you've decided in your mind that you want to achieve, and you're getting opposition, you're getting adversity, you're getting challenged, you're getting calamity, you're getting all these things that are coming at you, and then you realize you're out of alignment. And so the goal is to get in alignment. And the most humbling thing you could ever do for yourself is realize that you're out of alignment, and you want to get in alignment, so you take the action to get in alignment. When I started this journey 17 years ago, you know, I used to say to myself, it didn't take all that. I used to tell myself, it doesn't take all of that. You know, I don't have to be like a diehard Christian. I don't have to be a diehard person for God. And I didn't have to do all these things. And I've been in church all my life, but my thinking was wrong because I was thinking about me. I was taking just LaTanya into account, and I was not taking account that God was going to use me to be a blessing to other people. And in order to do that, I had to fall in line. So with that being said, my question to you guys as we start this training, what do you want? There's going to be 3 questions. The first one is, what do you want? I want you guys to write it down. You have to tell me. You can, if you want to share later, that's fine. If you want to share openly, that's fine. But what is it you want in life through this business? Because it's not the business that what you want. You want what the business can bring you. So what is it that you want? Let me know when you're done, and we'll go to the next question. Any questions so far, though? We good? Okay. Number 2. We ready for number 2? Hold up 2 if you're ready for 2. Ready for 2? Okay, perfect. Do you believe you can have it? Do you believe you can have it? Number 3. Do you believe you deserve it? What's that face, Miss Carter? Unmute yourself. Let's talk, y'all. Let's talk. I got a lot. So, I mean, let's talk.
You know what that face was. Do I believe I deserve it? Kidding me?
Absolutely. What you say, Mr. Smith?
I didn't see the face. I didn't see Miss Carter's face.
It was like that.
Oh, that face.
Okay, so what is it that you want? Because I've heard it said that success happens to you, but significance happens through you. Have y'all heard that? Right.
Success happens to you,
To
but
you.
significance happens through you.
Through you. That's right. Think about it. If you want to be personal, if you want to just like, it's all about me, okay, go get that success. See how long it stays with you.
Yeah.
But if you want to help somebody, if you want to be a blessing to somebody, that means you're lining yourself up with the principles of God. So that's when significance happens. When you're able to pour into somebody, to empower somebody, to build somebody up, to move somebody past their own stinking thinking. You good?
Yeah. I like this.
Okay. Okay, so any questions so far? Anybody want to share what is it that they want yet? We're going to keep it a secret.
I know, right? You know, that question makes you really pinpoint, bullet point everything, right?
You have to. It has to be a clear path.
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably one of the most challenging things that people attempt to answer, because you will go to your grave not knowing exactly what you want in your life, and so that's why dreams go to graves. That's why, businesses go to graves, because people never took the time to make that educated decision or take the time to focus on what they really want. It has taken me years, and I believe it still evolves even once you make a decision. Like one of my goals was, if y'all remember, I wanted to make sure that I can empower people who've been a part of corporate America, who believed that all they could do was corporate America and not do anything else other than that. And that they were just going to fail if they didn't have a job. And I wanted to share with them and show them that there's blessings and glory on the other side of building somebody else's dreams. That was my mantra. That was my goal. That was my vision, is to be able to take a person out of the mindset that all I could do at that job, and miss everything that God has in store for them outside of that job. Because your job is your comfort zone. Your job is, you're dependent on that check. And so, when people have that mindset, you're stuck. Yes, Ms. Carter.
Oh, I was really just cooling my hand. I'm sorry. There's a fan right here.
I could ask a question.
But I can't share. If
Sure.
you're done. I wasn't interrupting you. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Mm-mm.
So, I've done this exercise for myself, a while back.
Okay.
And these 3 questions are the questions that I asked myself in order to fine tune what it was that I wanted. Because I can want a lot of things, but I gotta believe it, and do I deserve it? And so I kind of got to that going backwards.
Gotcha.
And so I came up with, so the questions: do you believe I can have it? And do you believe I deserve it? Yes and yes, because I considered those things before I came up with my final answers.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to leave a sizable trust. I don't have a number for that yet, for my grandkids. And what I believe I can earn at this point in my life is a $10,000 a month residual. I know there's more, but I want to believe it.
Okay.
So that's what I believe I can accomplish in a short period of time, in the next 3 years. And then I want to impact 100,000 women by way of the vacation that we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so that they can know that they deserve to get what they've been giving all their lives.
Absolutely. That's good.
So that's a ministry for me. That is a personal ministry.
So you said this was an exercise that you did?
Yeah, I've done this already.
Really? Where'd you get it from? Because these questions came out of my head.
They came out of my head.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an exercise that was, presented to you by some mentor or something like that.
No, it was just me.
Okay, good.
Taking some time for myself.
Gotcha. Okay, excellent. Anybody else before we move on to the next? Yes, sir.
For a long time, we're on question 1, right?
Oh, Yeah, on the first three.
On the first three.
It was.
Oh, well, definitely. I definitely have always believed that I deserve it, and I've always believed that I can. The what I want through for life through the business, definitely it's been the same since I really put it all together when I was with Organo, and it was there's an income attachment to it, and I've raised the bar.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be that $1 million a month earner.
Yeah.
And so I know there's a lot of growth behind that, right? So I got to grow to that.
Absolutely.
So that for me is just so that I can take my family to higher grounds. That's all. And so when things like this in life comes up, yeah, my kids, they fall in the dirt, you know, catch them half down, you know, and be able to not feed them, you know, not but let them fall a little bit, right? But just don't let them bottom out, right? If I can catch, you know, my fruit of my labor and make sure that, you know, I lift them up and to you know, just to carry on whatever we put together while I'm here and while they're there, that we can move on from generation to generation to generation, more so in the mindset. But I know sometimes your children, you know, they listen to you. Sometimes you got to put yourself up. You got to put yourself up into a position to where they will listen to you, right?
Yeah.
You know, if they don't feel like they don't feel like they can listen to their parents, I mean, they'll listen to anybody.
Yeah.
But as a parent, you know, that's one thing. That's what I strive for. And the income has been shifting and moving, and it's just I really want to be will be one of the $1 million earners, because if this company is around 20, 30, 40 years, I'm 48. I got at least 40 good more years.
Yeah, you got time.
Plenty of time.
Yes.
20 years, 40 years, if this company's still singing and I'm in the top tier of, we want to talk about income, we want to talk about wealth or riches. Wealth would be me passing on some type of business that they can't cut the head off, right? They say, what is it, the goose? I want to create things that they can't cut the head off of the goose, right? And eat it. So there's just certain things that you can do with this that just puts you in that position to do. So that's a big thing for me. It's pretty long, but it's really detailed too. It's in one of my, I have this journal. It's in my first journal.
Gotcha.
And then I rewrote it in my 5th or 6th journal. So, and I need to rewrite it in my new journal. So I usually write it in the first page, and it's right there. Everything that I talked about, what I want to do, and I see how much has changed, and then I check off some of the things that I've accomplished. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm going to make one thing. I want to clarify. My ultimate goal, or monetary goal, is to earn $5 million in this company. That's my number. That's always been my number. So, I mean, how many years I have? Okay. And so my 10,000 number is my first goal.
Right.
Quarterly goal.
Gotcha.
So it's not my ultimate, because I know 10,000 not gonna cut it. That's just to get me going.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, then you set a goal to see if you can hit it. That's, you know, I've always had a certain number too, and I just wrote when I redid my. I don't know if you guys still have these 3x5 cards with your goals.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I just redid mine. I've had the same number consistent for the last, I don't know how many years. And when I rewrote it this time, I said it will be the first time I hit this, but not the last time. That was my statement when I wrote down my monetary goal. So it'll be the first time I hit it, but it won't be the last time. I see it with this company. I literally see it with this company. Okay. Anybody else before we move on?
I wanted to share mine a little bit. You know, after listening to all of you, I've seen that, you know, we all have a common goal, and the common goal is to help others in the long run. And I fall in the same category because, you know, I've been in this country for 10 years,
Okay.
You know, and when I first came, I was struggling a lot. Then I joined the military, and it opened up doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
But me, the position I'm in right now, I would like to help others, but I cannot just quit my job and just, you know, start doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So what my goal is to be able to reach financial freedom. Once I have this financial freedom, then I will have that time to be able to, you know, help others.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in my country, I live in a country where a lot of people are struggling.
Sure.
And when I see that, I want to give up everything and go back home and try to develop projects. I've been talking to Kendrick about my farm project, you know, for a long time. Mm-hmm. And for me to be able to be there and run that project, I need to have a stable income. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So with this business, it's going to help me reach that goal so that I can go home, be able to move around and do things for others. Right. So I just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. And let me share with you, I thoroughly understand your position because I did corporate America for 37 years. And along with corporate America, I was doing this business as well. And I met a lot of people along the way. And so let me share. There is a mindset that the business that we have, that our job should just be the seed to our wealth. Your job should be the seed to your wealth. In other words, we were not created to literally go out and just work a job until we can't live a life. But you have to. There's a place where you start, and there's a place where you end. And so your job is right now, because your vision is huge and your dream and your heart is huge. Understand that your job is to seed your wealth. And so I believe that's the mindset that you have, and that's important because don't do like I did. Commit yourself to something, to a principle or to it was the thing that we were taught as children, was to go to school, get a good education, and go to work for someone for 40 years, for 40 hours a week, and power on 40%. That doesn't work anymore. That was in the industrial age. That does not apply to the technology age that we're in right now. And so I wanted to make sure you were clear with that, because I believe that's where you are. You understand that what you're doing as far as your 9 to 5 will feed your wealth, and your wealth will feed your people and do what it is that God has put in your heart to do. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about.
Hey, yes, I like that. Jeremy, you're at the right place at the right time.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, sir. Anybody else?
With the right people.
I'm sorry?
Yes. With the right people.
She said I'm in the right time, in the right place, and I say with the right people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So we're going to move on? We good? Diana, you okay? Or you go, that computer. Okay, so good. So we've already talked about putting God first. Okay, and we understand if we want more, we have to put Him first in our lives in order to attain more, because it's required. Otherwise, the struggle will be even worse, in my opinion. So, because I've been there. So we understand God's first, family second, wealth building is third. Okay, business is third, right? Because that's the order that we want to do. And then let me tell you guys something. If you've been reading this book, if you understand, Mr. Haynes started out this book with scripture. And so he's putting God first. And that's why, I have a strong affection for this gentleman, just a great respect for him as well, because of the life that he lives, okay? I don't care what his past was. I don't know what his past was. I know who he is right now. And that's the thing that we have to understand. Even our past cannot predict our future. Who we were in our past should not be the thing that holds us back from where God has us. Because if God can use Paul, and if turn Saul to Paul, if God can take all those people who were killing his people, killing his children in the Bible, and then make him who he is in this world today, then understand he can use anybody. So don't allow your past to dictate your future. Okay. So right now, Team Empowered is in momentum. It is in full momentum. And Wendy shared this today too. And I'm like, this is incredible. So momentum is everything. It's a vibration set at a frequency that cannot be stopped. When we're all in sync on one mindset, when we're all believing for one thing, that's why when we started this month out, we set the tone to go director. Everybody go director. Have your partners go director. It's not over yet. We never know what the manifestation is going to come. But think about it. It's a vibration set at a frequency that cannot be stopped. And so, because the word says when two or more are gathered, there's nothing that cannot be accomplished. God is present in that. So I'm not, like I said, this is not a Bible study, but I won't apologize for what I believe, and I will not apologize for sharing, because that might be the one thing that some of us are missing. Because let me tell you something. I'm a green, I'm a red, I could be a yellow every now and then, and sometimes a blue. But that means absolutely nothing if I don't have God first. If he's not here, none of that other stuff. So what? I'm a detail-oriented person. So what? What am I going to get accomplished just by being a detail-oriented person? Who can I touch if I just give out numbers and want the things that, that make sense to me? If I'm not making sense to somebody else, if I can't touch another person where they need to be touched, then I'm missing it. That makes sense? Okay?
Yeah.
So the next question is to you guys, why are you in this business? So we talk about what it is that you want, but why? I'll never forget a training that Tyrone McDaniel did. He talked about why. And the why is typically a surface response. It's a surface answer. But sometimes you have to dig in order to get to the true why. That took time to develop as well. Why am I doing this? Because I couldn't accomplish my dreams and goals with my corporate job. I could not get that lifestyle that I wanted at my corporate job. So I was always seeking, and thank God I had the mindset to have a plan B. I was introduced to this industry so that I can actually attain the things that I want. There is a certain lifestyle. There is a certain place I see myself in my future. So my why is feeding that. My why am I still doing this business? Because I believe in the results that I can attain from this business more than I can attain from corporate America. That makes sense?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So how many times have you guys heard you will not build this business for the money? Yeah.
Plenty.
Many times. We start out with that mindset because that's the thing that catches us. That's what's sold to us, the believability that the money is going to be great. And I truly believe the money is going to be great. But we believe what we learn is that as we develop the person inside, that the money is not the thing that's going to drive you. I believe it's the ability to move people and to build leaders and to grow people will be the one thing that will drive you more. I see it in you. I see it in you. Because where we are with this business is not nearly where we'll be in the next 5 to 10 years. So the mere fact that you're plugged in, staying the course, focused, doing the activity, taking the time, that means that because your results right now are not huge in the money arena. The results right now is the belief that you're going to be able to do something with this business and it's going to pay off. There is a way to make money right now, money in this business, of course. It's not like we had a product in OG and you can just go out and sell coffee. No, we sponsor people to this business. We show them how to sponsor people to this business. We move it that way. But we know that in the end game, you have what we call, what is it called? If you have near sight or you have far sight. The goal right now is to have a far sight. The goal right now is to make sure that you see yourself in your future with this business. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So your why. Make sure you have your why. Make sure you understand that it's not, don't just say I want to set aside, $100,000 to feed the children. Why is it that, why are you here right now? Because it has to prick at your heart. It has to, what did you not accomplish that made you see this as an opportunity so that you can accomplish it? That make sense? Okay. Cool. So What you see is what you get. Visualize your success. We've heard that before, right? But what Mr. Bug says is excellent. You get what you picture. You get what you picture. I remember, and you know, this is, and we're going to talk about this a little bit, but in OG, I remember the night Mrs. Carter went Sapphire. There was a level of determination that would not be stopped. She saw other people hit it. I went through this myself. She saw other people hit it. She would not be denied. And I don't believe it was a competition with people. I know it wasn't. It was a competition with herself. She was competing. Can I really get this done? Because see, when I went Sapphire 9 months in, I saw people going to the front of the room hitting pin levels. And I kept telling myself, LaTanya, what is wrong with you? I've hit pin levels in other businesses before. So I'm telling myself, what is wrong with you? I was having a conversation I already knew the answer to. When you ask yourself the question, you already know the answer. It can't be anything else. It's already inside of you. And so it was like, what is wrong with you? I saw Mrs. Carter. I know she was probably sitting at the table. She was here at my house. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, there's got to be one more place I can get a gold pack from. Never forget it. There's got to be one more place I can get. In other words, it was going to get done regardless that night. And so she saw herself. I know she saw herself on stage when she first got that, when she hit Sapphire. I know it was part of her vision. Am I telling the truth, Ms. Carter? Okay. Because the recognition is what feeds us. The recognition feeds us. And it's okay for a while, because after a while, like I told Diana Hart, I said, yeah, I did 37 years of corporate America, but that doesn't define me anymore. You know, and we can't continue to live on what we did and on those accomplishments. What are we accomplishing right now? What have you done for me lately? You know, what have I done for me lately? Okay. So right now, what do you picture? What do you see yourself, you know, in the next 6 to 12 months with iBoomerang? So you get what you picture. So do you picture yourself helping somebody get what they want, or do you picture yourself in what you want?
I'm having the hardest time picturing a stage and not being on it. Virtual.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I have this picture in my mind about that moment. I mean, and it's still the picture I own, because that's the touch feel of it. Well, but think about it. Okay, it's gonna be rolling. My name's gonna be rolling. They're gonna let it stay there 15 seconds. What? They're gonna ask me for a picture? I don't know.
But here's the deal: the next 6 to 12 months will probably be in a location, and we'll all across the stage. Yeah, absolutely. I believe it just gives us more time to get more leaders to the stage. Does that make sense? So, what is that you picture? Because literally, you'll get that. And the best way to describe that, when you plan your vacation, do you see yourself in your vacation before you get there? I just, do you see yourself in your vacation before you get there? Anybody got something to say? Okay. Y'all good? Okay. So if we can see yes, Mr. Benson?
No, I was unmuting myself, so.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you can see yourself in your vacation before you get there, then you know you have the ability to picture your success before you attain it. You just have to shift your focus. If we can, I don't know about y'all, but when I plan my trips, I literally see myself sitting at a spot, looking at the water, embracing what God has created, and it's an aha moment for me. If I can see that, then that spiritual eye, that visual, that mind's eye can see that, why is that we cannot see our success? Do you see yourself successful with this business? Okay. I just want to make sure we're all, because, we can talk. We got We got a little time because I want to make sure we can see ourselves. That's so important. That is so important to visualize your success. Okay?
Every day, I visualize it. I'm always forecasting where I'm going to be in 12 months, where I'm going to be in 6 months, what I'm going to be in 90 days.
Okay.
Where am I going to be at the event?
Good.
And every day I shoot for that. And every month I rewrite my goal, you know, and that calendar really helps.
Yep. So pre-playing your success and not replaying your failures, not replaying what you didn't do, because you were shooting for Sapphire last month and you didn't hit it, that could be at the back of your mind. I don't know how many, I shot for Sapphire for 9 months and hit it. It took me, 13 months to hit it here?
Look, every month I write it on my calendar.
Right.
And I just go back and rewrite it. It's like, okay, I did everything, and I go back. You know how the calendar asks you to check off the flight checks? So I go back and look at that, and then I look at how many presentations did I do this month? Sure. How many whatever I did this month. And so that's where the when I say Miss Johnson, every day. Yep. Presentation every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Absolutely.
That's what I was missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to share this saying, if you know.
Huh?
I just wanted to share this saying that I heard, and I wanted to share with you guys. Maybe you've heard it before. And it says that your imagination is your preview to life's coming attractions.
Right.
So basically, whatever is coming through your mind is possible.
We live off the canvas of our imagination. Absolutely. That's where I stay.
Exactly.
That's where I stay. And that's one of my end goals for me doing this business, because I know where I want to be and I know what I want this business to feed that dream. Okay? Does that make sense?
Man, makes sense.
Great. Good. So,
hey, do me a favor, repeat that phrase again. Your imagination is your preview to...
Your imagination is your preview to life's coming attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I've truly heard that before. So we want to set bigger goals and more specific goals. Okay. Bigger goals and specific goals. Now, here's the thing is, though, you don't want to set like 20 and 30 goals. You want to, formalize your goals to about 3 or 4, because the mind can only focus on so much. So you want to have a financial goal. You want to have how many people I'm going to sponsor, how many customers I'm going to get. You want to have, how many team members are going to help, if that helps you. How much money do I want to earn for this month? You want to have a monetary goal. You want to have those type of things in place so that your mind can sort of stay in that realm and not say, but I want this, and this, but focus on, goals in a short time frame. What can I accomplish in 30 days and feel good about it and reward yourself when you do it? Cool. Okay. Embracing change. What is your threshold for change? My threshold for change was flatline.
Was what?
It was a flatline. I didn't embrace change. I didn't like change. I'm talking about my former self. I didn't like change. I didn't want change. The one thing I could not change was coming. So, but that was then, this is now. It's a totally different world now for me and for probably most of us on this call. When you do something for such a long period of time, change is hard to embrace. Change is hard to receive because there's programming that comes with that as well. So, embracing change. How many of you feel good about embracing change?
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay.
I do now.
Yeah.
A lot of when you just being uncomfortable when things have to change, especially when you notice that you got to change certain things.
Exactly.
People tell you all the time, and you say, okay, but when you really see when it hits you in the face, then when it that's when you have to make the change. It's like in going to the gym, you have to change certain things where you have to make the change.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
It is inevitable. It's a part of life. So we and so accepting that and being aware that you need to get there is very important, because as long as you fight it, you're denying yourself the things that you really want, the things that you really should have as well. So change is inevitable. Okay, so having the right mindset. So let's talk about that a little bit. Having the right mindset, guys. So when you guys produced the Sapphire in this organization, because you guys produced it, my mindset was literally, I'm just gonna be real transparent. I was not focused on going Sapphire that month. My focus was to go Sapphire in this month, right before we went to Vision. That was my focus. My focus was not going Sapphire in May. And I promise you that my focus was to get Kendrick to his Sapphire because he was shooting for Sapphire. Wilbert he told me at the very beginning of the month, I'm going Sapphire this month. So it was like, okay, so what do we need to do to make sure these things happen? And so you guys produced this Sapphire in this business. I had to do some business as well outside of those two legs because I could only tap out on those two legs for so much. And I had to literally get into the mindset like Mrs. Carter did. Like, it got to a point where there was no way I could not go Sapphire. I got too close. See, what y'all don't know is the first month we launched iBoomerang, I was 2,500 in volume away from Sapphire. I didn't know because there was no pin levels back then.
Right.
Same thing happened in Organo. I think Organo was 14,000 in volume. I was like at 11,000 or 12,000 volume. I was real close, but did not understand structure. Did not understand what it took to go Sapphire. That was the first month I entered the business, and it took me 9 months later. So when you talk about mindset, my whole mind shifted that night when I saw the volume coming in. And I said, LaTanya, you have no choice. This has to happen. And there is a level of focus that takes place and the believability that has to take place in order to go. You cannot doubt when you're in the hunt for your success. You cannot doubt when you're in the hunt for your success. You cannot even allow it to cross when it comes through into your mind, you have to push it out of your mind because otherwise it will set up and it will create and fester. So if you know that, you've made a decision, hey, this month it's done. I'm in it. I'm not going to even question it. And things start to roll and things start to happen. You can't, the enemy will send doubt. There will be challenges that will come. And those challenges will make you think, well, it wasn't meant, or I'll just settle for this pin level. Because that's what happened to me. I said, well, I'm close to 10,000. Wow. I'll just settle for being an executive director this month, and then we'll go Sapphire another month. And then I'm like, but it took work to get to 10,000. It's going to take a whole lot more work to get to Sapphires. So all of these thoughts are coming and going. Same thing with going director. I need two class. I need two, business class to go director. Oh man, but that person didn't come through, or that person didn't call, that person didn't answer the phone, or all these things. And we start to receive that. And we start to say, well, it ain't gonna happen this time, will happen next time. We're going to be great leaders. We're nowhere near where we're going. We're nowhere near where we're going to be. See yourself who you are right now and make this the last picture you see yourself as. Who you are right now is not who you will be in the next 18 months. Who you are right now cannot be the person you'll be in the next 18 months. Not if you have those things on your sheet of what I want, why I want them. You've laid it out. There are things that you want to accomplish in life, That means you can't accomplish them right where you are right now. Otherwise, you would have gotten them. Remember, they said the current thinking has got you the results that you have right now that cannot resolve the results that you want. So if you want more, you have got to elevate. Level up. Ms. Johnson, we doing calls every day. You know, I'm calling people, I'm shaking hands, kissing babies. I'm doing what I got to do, but I'm not getting a result. That's the thought process. You're not going to get a result. Ms. Johnson, but I really want this thing. I need it. I got, my family needs it. Okay. Are you going to quit because the enemy said no? Or somebody said not now? Your mindset dictates everything. Because when you start thinking, you start speaking it. When you start seeing stuff in here and you start saying, I can, I will not fail. When you start speaking things like that into existence, nothing will stop you. Nothing. I told myself for the whole month, I said, I will not fail. This will happen. It got to, at the end of the month, not the whole month, at the end of the month, it came to me that I could not fail. It had to happen then. It had to happen then. I could not allow the doubt. I got to 10,000. I said, oh man, that's good. I'm good now. I'm settled. I hit executive. I get a little check. You know, I get a little recognition. I can sit back and go to bed now. It was, I don't even know what time it was. It was, you know, it was late that Saturday night. I was settled in my spirit. But then it said, but I can do all things. Wait a second. If I can do all things, he doesn't settle. I'm sorry. That's why when you have him in you, you know you're going to get the best of the best of the best. I couldn't settle because I kept telling myself, but I can do all things. I dare y'all to take that mantra and that scripture into your heart and say that when you want to go for something. If you want to just hit director, say I can do all things. You got this is the 13th. You got 17 days to get whatever you want out of this business and whatever monies they're making available to you through this comp plan. You got 17 days. What are you going to do? You're going to do all things, or you're going to do what LaTanya can only do? Or you going to let God do what God does? That's the thinking that you have to have. That's the belief. There is nothing you can accomplish because faith without works dead. And we are doing the work in faith right now. So all we have to do is speak what it is what we want, believe we're going to have it, and you will achieve it. It is a must. If you want more, you've got to become more. I've said that many times. If you want more in life, you've got to become more in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More compassionate, more empathetic, more loving, more caring, more on purpose, more sowing into the lives of your team. You know, it takes that and then some. Yes, it does. It came back to me. Did it really take all that? Yeah, and then some. What they say, in a bag of chips. Yes, it takes all of that in a bag of chips. You good?
Yes.
So your mindset has to be right. And having the right attitude, which is a mindset of gratitude. Having the right attitude is a mindset of gratitude. Turn on my little fan. Okay? Next, leaders don't make excuses. They make a way. That's been proven on this team. Leaders don't make excuses, they make a way. Leaders step up. They're not born. Leaders are developed. They don't make excuses, they make a way.
Nope, they do not.
Peter Hirsch says all excuses are equal. And then I heard someone else say, so stop attempting to validate them. All excuses are equal. So when somebody says, but, they're just eradicated everything they said before the but. I'm gonna be a diamond, but I don't see myself as a diamond. Well, you won't be a diamond. You know, but I can't get these people on the call. I'm a diamond, but I can't get these people. I invite them, they don't show up. Does the invitation stop with them, or do you go find somebody else? On with the next. So we talked about success as a frequency. So the question is, what music are you playing? What music are you playing? What do people hear and what do people see when you open your mouth? What music are you playing? Do they see a person of a business acumen, a person that, you know, that wants to serve, a person that, you know, that's looking to help? You know, that's the best way to build a rapport with the person, to build a relationship with a potential partner, is to be able to share. When you're speaking, are they hearing what you're saying, coming out correctly? Is it positive instead of negative? Is it refreshing or is it demeaning? Can people utilize it and grow from it, or are you killing the seed? So what music are you playing when you talk to people? Good?
Yes.
Okay. We're almost there. And I don't mean a place called there. Not yet.
Say what?
I said, we're almost there, and I'm not talking about a place called there. Not right now. But there's 7 core principles I want to share with you guys that I think it was, this might be a part of your notes. This is way back, Mr. Bugs did it, flight school back in August of 2019. And I'm gonna share these so that you guys can have it, so you can share with your team as you build out your organization. Because we always want to maintain the core principles. So, show the plan is number 1. Show the plan. And I'm gonna say number 1 is gonna be the 5 steps to success. So number 1 includes showing the plan, which is that 5 steps to success. So we show the plan. We actually get people to build their list. We book the boom parties and all those things. So step 1 is, showing them the 5 steps to success. Showing that plan to these people. Number 2, make sure that you attend all events. Not just corporate events, not just the events we travel to, but when we're having our Thursday night meetings here, but you guys are attending events on Monday night with us. We're attending events every night. So I'm speaking to the choir right now. Okay. Number 3, send 10 I decides.
What's that?
Send 10 I decide.
What'd you say?
Number 3, huh?
She said send 10 I decides.
Yes, send 10 I
Frozen,
decides.
Ms. Johnson.
Ms. Carter, you speaking?
Oh yeah, she's frozen.
Frozen. Okay.
Come back.
Ms. Carter, you frozen up. So I don't know if you're going to check out and come back in.
She got,
Okay.
there you are.
Okay. Good?
Yes, well, where did you stop?
Number
We
3
stopped
was,
at sentence.
yeah, send 10 I decides. That was number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 4, enroll 2 ambassadors. The 2 and 10 principle still applies here. So enroll 2 ambassadors, and that's number 4. That qualifies you to receive a weekly commission when you're qualified, when you have your two partners. Number 5, read books. Right now we're finishing up You Have Permission to Succeed. I have a list of books here, but I'm not gonna go through. We all know most of these books, so, but that's number 5, read books. Number 6, what are you watching and what are you listening to? So that personal development of hearing something as well. And the last one is number 7, be accountable. Okay. That's the 7 core principles. All right. So find out who you are and become the best you. Find out who you are and become the best you. You know, as much as I love Mr. Haynes and I thank him for his mentorship, I see myself somewhat in his light, because in his likeness, I should say, but I can never be a Mr. Haynes. I can only be the best LaTanya. And there is a process to where you are right now. I am not the person I was 6 months ago. I'm not the person I was 12 months ago, 18 months ago. There is a gradual process to this thing. And it's really an acceptance of the responsibility. I never wanted the responsibility of a huge organization. I didn't see myself. I didn't see the ability in me to do that. The organization that it takes, the energy that it takes to put out fires and deal and actually, you know, I'm not gonna say the word manage because I will not manage ever again, but to actually grow that. I had to change my thinking in order to get here. So will you. If you want a large organization that will produce the residual income that you want, you're gonna have to change your thinking to get that. So you've got to become the best you. So who do you see yourself as far as mentoring? Who feeds you as mentoring? Is it someone you listen to, like a Les Brown, or you know, or you know, either Bishop Jakes? You know, that's Mr. Bugs' mentor. You know, who is it you're listening to that you can literally take that knowledge and pass it on? You know, so you've got to be able to choose that. So becoming the best you is very important. So how do you become the best you? First of all, stop comparing yourself to someone else's accomplishments. Stop comparing yourself to someone else's accomplishments. Your biggest test, or your biggest the person that you will have the most comparable challenges with will be yourself. That enemy that you deal with every single day. That's your biggest challenge. Now I read this and I'm trying to see, it says the future needs somebody to understand what the past was. And I kept reading that, and I think Mr. Bug said that, and I was trying to figure out in his mind, what was he sharing? And I believe he was saying the future needs somebody to understand what the past was. In other words, literally you have to see yourself in your future to understand what your past was about. Because you've got to respect the fact of where you came from to where you are. You don't live in it, but you respect that you've been through that process. We've all got a past. And I'm not saying a bad past. I'm saying your history, your business history, your education, your relation, whatever that is, that built you to the person you are right now. Okay? So the next thing is to determine your definite purpose. How do we do that? Eliminate distractions that has nothing to do with your purpose. Eliminate distractions that has nothing to do with your purpose. You probably have to eliminate some people. There's a crab mentality that happens in our culture, and that crab mentality is we don't want to see our friends or family get to the top, so they're always pulling you down. Even more so, talking about you, talking you down more than anything. So eliminate the distractions, eliminate the people that are not on your side. You can't share your dreams with everybody. You can't share your goals with everybody. As much as I would love to, we can't. When you begin to follow your purpose, things begin to open up. When you follow your purpose, when you begin to do that, things begin to open up, and I can attest to that. Number 3, if you give without expecting to receive, you will receive abundantly. If you give without expecting to receive, you will receive abundantly. That is a principle, that is a law. Mr. Bugs lives by it. Thoughts determine what you want, and actions determine what you get. Remember, I was saying that whatever you think, you speak it, you start to act on it, and it starts to manifest. So thoughts determine what you want, but actions determine what you get.
Can you repeat that last one? Determine something. You phased that on me.
Okay, thoughts determine what you want.
Well, you said after you receive abundantly. If you give without expecting to receive, you receive abundantly.
Correct.
And then you said determine something.
I said thoughts. Yeah, the next one was thoughts determine what you want, and actions determine what you get. Okay? Because we can think about it all day, but if we don't do anything towards it, it won't happen. All day. I think Marvis hit it. One away from 1,000. I need to get a banner ready. 1,000 boomerangs. Please help me, Kendrick. I need to get a banner because she's been hitting me up all week at 1:30 in the morning clock. I got 1:30 in the morning, 5 away. Now I just got 1 away. So when we get done tonight, if you can, give me a banner because I know she's gonna hit it tonight. That's what I love. Oh, I'm sorry.
I got you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're proud. I'm proud of it too.
Yeah.
She knows what she's after. So that's excellent. So the reason people don't succeed, this is another one. The reason people don't succeed is because their memories are bigger than their dreams. That's what I've been saying. Their distractions are greater than their dreams. Their memories. If I continue to talk about what I did for 37 years, it will hold me hostage. I'm like,
yeah,
I did that. But man, what am I gonna get done now? You know, it's I think that's just growth, you know. Because Mr. Bugs, you know, he says, okay, I did that. I did $3 billion in 10 years at that company, but what am I gonna do with this company, my own company now? What am I accomplished? His accomplishments are huge right now in this company, in his own business right now. What he did in the first year has never been done. So focus on that. Make sure where you sow is on fertile ground. Here we go, seeds. Make sure where you sow is on fertile ground. You know, we don't want everybody in our business. We will give everybody the opportunity to get in our business. But most people will see themselves right out of it, and they'll talk themselves right out of it, and that's okay. I've sent out I've sent out YouTube videos of Johnny Wimbrey and everybody to people that I just knew would get this. You know, I know they're getting, and they're like, nope, cool, you're not for this business. That's why when we say this might be for you, it might not be, that's a very valid statement. And there are people who will look at this and they will start questioning it. And in their mind, they're already determining that they won't be able to do the business because they won't win because they won't do the work as well. So everybody's not built to do this business. We want them to be a part of it, but everybody's not. So where you sow your seeds, you might not reap a harvest at that place, but you will reap a harvest in due season. You will reap a harvest in due season. Okay? And so how do you prepare for your harvest? I tell everybody to go out and get a new checking account to receive the money. That's an expectation. Remember, I always talk about living in expectation, working expectation. And when you do that, you do things for it to come. So if you're expecting money, if you're expecting that, that $10,000 a month, you know that you're going to have to, pay taxes on it, or tithe, or whatever the case may be, start that process now.
Got it.
That's how you prepare yourself for your harvest.
Got it.
That's how you prepare yourself for your harvest. Mr. Buggs sent out that seven things to do with $1. I took a snapshot of that. I'm trying to discipline myself. I will discipline myself to do that. I will discipline myself. I will not give myself the excuse of saying trying. I will discipline myself to do that. Do the tithing. Do the investing part. Do all those things. And they're lining up. And here's what I want you. I mean, it's amazing. When you hear something, it gets into your subconscious mind, and literally things start happening. You start doing them, and it's not even relative at the moment. But when you look over the season of it, and you're like, oh my God, I did exactly what I said I was supposed to do, but it was part of my subconscious mind. It was almost like it was not intentional because of what I heard. It was because I heard it that it happened. I hope I'm making sense with that. In other words, when Mr. Buggs started talking about what to do with $1, and he says you invest a portion of it, what, 20 to 30%, something like that. Then you put some aside for taxes, and you do this, you do that. And I became a part of an investment group, and it just hit me. I'm doing just that part. I'm making the provision to go and set aside a portion of what I earn in other accounts. And so you start doing the things when the seed is deposited, and then I would say the germination, when the things start coming at you, people start saying things, and they're telling you, these things are going to happen. That's the process of believing in it, and it starts to take fruition. So it just hit me. I've started an investment group. I've made provision to go out and put money in another account to cover taxes. I've started doing those things. So it's amazing that it starts to take root in your life when you actually are exposed. Does that make sense? We good? Okay, I think we lost Jeremy. So I don't know if he fell off or he had to get off, but that's okay.
Yeah, he definitely had to get off. He's at a wedding.
Oh my
He
goodness!
stepped out of the wedding to listen to.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a blessing. Okay, so.
Oh, he said, "Can you get me back in?" He wants to get back in.
I don't see him invited. I would
Hold
love
on.
to. He's at a wedding. Don't he think he should just like
Oh, he's fine.
They
sacrifice?
don't even know he's there. It's a wedding.
It's all good. I don't see him. I don't see him.
I just
asking
sent it
me
to him again.
Okay, good. I'll let him in. Just saw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's gonna be there for the reception. What is it? After party. What's it called?
Okay.
Is he?
I see 6 participants, but I don't see him yet. Oh, here it is. Here he is, right here. Admit. Okay. And you're back. Welcome back, sir. I didn't realize you were at a wedding. Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, in order to build a massive organization, it's 8% mental and 20% work. 8% mental and 20% work.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a 60-40, Ms. Carter.
Yeah.
Well, that's Daniel.
80-20.
Yeah. That's Daniel Camara.
It's a lot of thinking and a lot of work. 20%
It is.
It's
a lot of focus.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. Build associations and relationships. That's so important. I had to learn to do that. I was that person that whenever I saw a person, I saw a dollar sign. How many of y'all can attest to that?
Oh, I remember that.
Huh?
I remember that thinking.
Yeah. When I saw a person, I saw a dollar sign. I said, oh man, they're getting in my business. And we're going to, I can just see your fast start bonus. I can see the dual team bonus. I saw that. That's all I saw. I had to get out of that thinking. I had to get out of that thinking because that was stagnating me. I was killing my business because I could not see the person as a person. I saw them as a paycheck. And that's not the way you do this business. Because like Mr. Buggs says, you can't outfriend me. And so you build relationships and you listen to people. And when I call to invite people to information, I say, is this a good time? And they say, well, no, I just got in. I can, I might have, I said, no problem. If this is not a good time, I'll call you back. Let me know what time is good for you. I try not to bump. I used to, what's it called? Bush run? No, run, just bum rush a person. If I got him on the phone, boom,
Yeah.
everything I got to say right then and now. Never worked. Because I didn't build a relationship. I didn't.
Yeah.
So they avoid you when you do stuff like that. Instead of engaging in conversation and learning about that person and hearing their concerns and their challenges. I had to learn that. So build relationships and associations. In order to achieve Ruby and above, you have to work hard and have belief. So why would I say Ruby? Well, that's what they said in my notes. But I thought about this. Those of us on this call right now should not, I know we're telling everybody to go for director. That's what we're doing because that is the plan for the month. But I know goodwill, you guys see yourself past director. You see yourselves past senior director. So never limit your pin level based on, what's taking place. You should always set it higher anyway. See, I think I shared with Kendrick the other day. I said, I've already built out or Mrs. Carter, I built up my structure for Emerald already. I've drawn it out and I'm working through it so I can see it. So I'm not looking to just go Ruby. I'm saying to me that Ruby's going to be a given. Ruby is achievable, attainable. It's going to happen. Because I remember when Mr. Bugs and David and all those guys used to say, oh, sponsor somebody is easy. They used to say that all the time. I said, you know why they said that? Because they were speaking it and then they were making it happen. It was easy because they kept saying it was easy. Oh, sponsoring somebody to this business is easy. That's not the hard part. Well, for people who don't have that skill set and did not know to say those things to build the belief. So when you start speaking things to build your belief, Ruby's done.
Yeah.
Emerald's next. So you've got to determine what's done for you. It's not just Sapphire. You've been Sapphire, Ms. Carter. You can't see yourself as Sapphire anymore. Because see, I got tired of Sapphire in the last business. I'm already tired of Sapphire in this business. Because if you get comfortable, you stagnate and you'll stay there.
And I can't wait to get there.
9 years. Huh?
I can't wait to get there.
Well, yeah, but you won't stay there.
Right.
Because you can't wait to see yourself as Diamond. See, so the thing is, yeah, we're gonna hit Sapphire, we're gonna celebrate and we're gonna move on. We're going to hit everybody that goes dual team. We're going to celebrate. We're going to move on. Anybody hits director, man, we're going to celebrate you and we're going to move on. We cannot get comfortable in the minimal because it might look maximum right now, but these are the minimal positions. The positions that we want to achieve in life are greater than what we can see. As long as they're greater than what we can see, we always have something to shoot for. We have got to stay in the what we believe is unattainable, to know that when we do receive it, that God is the one that provided for us. I'm just being real. When you can't see yourself as crown ambassador, triple crown ambassador, cool. That means that when you get there, the only reason you got there is because God made it happen. That's when I went Sapphire. I didn't understand how I went Sapphire. And my sister said, I'm so glad you can't figure out how it happened. Because that means that you didn't do it. And that's the truth. That is the truth. So when you attain something that you didn't see yourself attaining it, I promise you, it's not based on you. It's not based on you. It's based on your faith. It's based on what you're believing for. It's not your physical person. It's your spiritual man that's making it happen. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm hoping it's clear to people.
Oh, it is. Clear as a bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, good. So, become a great storyteller. Mr. Benson has that locked up. Diana, you got that locked up. Become a great storyteller. I can't wait to hear Mr. Everett on Monday night. I cannot wait to hear that presentation. Looking forward to it. Every more. He's doing Monday night's presentation.
Uh-huh.
Carter like, what?
Oh, and Jeremy's doing one at 7.
Excellent. That's what's up. Multiplication. That's in my notes. Become a great storyteller.
So we're doing one at 7, and then we'll roll right into 8 o'clock team call.
Cool.
So I got to make that announcement. But yeah, I practiced with him today.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. We're almost to the finish line. So when you build, it's addition. When your team builds, it's multiplication. We've been saying that. When you build, it's addition. But when your team is building, it's multiplication. last but not least, who will you be in the next 5 to 10 years? Who will you
be
in the next
Oh, wow.
5 to 10
That's
years?
a good one.
So the only person you're competing with is the person you become in the next 5 to 10 years. There is a shift that happens when you choose to move out of your own way. There is a shift that happens. Mr. Bug said this, and I'll never forget it. I know Mrs. Carr remembered, and you probably do too, Kendrick. But he says his biggest fear was meeting the person he could have been in his future. His biggest fear was meeting the person he could have been. Yes. I vowed right then and there, I said, I do not want to miss the opportunity to become the person I could have been, because if I do, that means I'm cutting myself short. I did not fulfill my purpose. Yeah. You want to fulfill your purpose. We've all been created to do that. If the roses on this earth were created to blossom and to put a scent before the earth, that means that God created them to do just that. That was their purpose. Roses were created to blossom and bring forth a scent unto the earth. And God got the glory. That means they fulfilled their purpose. If you want God to get the glory, if you want to live your life according to what he has called you to be, then you've got to fulfill your purpose. You've got to find out what that purpose is and work towards it. And become that person that he's called you to be. It's in you. Everything that we need is already in you. You've been developing it. You've been working on it. You've been reading the books, Diana. You've been going to the Toastmasters. You've been developing it. You're not done. We're all in practice. We're all transitioning. We're not stagnant. We're not perfect. We're all moving towards one common goal. And that's
was that out of your head, or did you have that written down? Was that out of your head, or did you have it written down? If I want to please God, you said.
Oh, shoot, that was out of my head. Okay. I got recorded.
Okay.
I recorded, but yeah. Jeez, sorry.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was spirit led. So, but Holton Bugs' biggest fear was being the person he could have become in his future. That was the biggest thing. And that resonated with me because I don't want to miss my opportunity. So let me do this. Let's see if I can pull it up. I don't even know if I have it on here. Oh, did I? You know what? I think I can do it like this. Come out of this. Come out of this. And I think I should be able to, hang on, I'll show you guys something. I'm gonna turn it over for Q&A. Hang on one second, let me do this and pull it up. So y'all got any questions before I jump into this? This is the last thing.
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Cool. All right. Minimize. Let's see if I can pull this up. And I want to show this to you guys, and we'll. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. You remember that?
Yes. IMVG.
Right. I'm gonna go sell a bone density
Can you hear it?
scanner. How about that? Want to do that?
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Hey, Dad, go pro!
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. You'll probably be about as good as I was. That's kind of the way it works, and I was below average. So you'll probably ultimately rank somewhere around there, so really, we're selling a lot of things, just not this. I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night. All right?
All right.
Okay. There. Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period. So,
So, you got a dream?
Go get it.
Go get it.
Period.
Period. You got to protect it though, because everybody's not going to be your cheerleader. Everybody's not going to be the one that's going to say, "Oh yeah," they're going to tell you, "No, that's not going to work." You doing that thing? You want to achieve what? You want to become what? They don't know what God put in you. They're doubting their own self and trying to speak it onto you. You can't receive that. Not at this juncture in your life. Not now.
Yeah.
You know, we know who we are now. So we can't allow any outside force or any outside conversation distract us and to try to take us down when we've already known what we can accomplish. We've seen what we can accomplish. We are in momentum. We are moving. This is the best place to be in a business. And we're not even nowhere near where we want to be. Are we ready for it? That's the question. Are we ready for it? So guys, that's all I got. I just wanted to just get together with, you know, those people who are leading and that are leading the charge. I thought Sarita, she's not dual-team qualified.
She is. I don't know what she's doing today. She couldn't get on.
Okay.
Gotcha. And I haven't heard from her either, so she must be pretty busy.
Okay.
But she is dual-team qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's her mom's parents' anniversary today, so I don't know if they're doing something.
Not a problem.
For that.
Gotcha. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, guys. I really do. I pray that that you receive something from this today that will actually move you and elevate you guys to a new thinking, a new belief, you know, a shift that hopefully will take you to whereas, you know what, there's not one thing I cannot accomplish in my life at this point. There might have been times back and I doubted, but I will not doubt anything at this point in my life. I will accomplish everything that I've set my mind to and I've chosen at this point in my life. And so I wanted to just leave that with you guys. If you guys got to share, we can do that right now. Otherwise, we can get ready for that 9 o'clock call. Mrs. Carter's gonna knock out the park. I got a guess it's gonna be on there.
Miss Carter. Miss Carter.
So, you know, Ms. Johnson, I wanted to say how appropriate this is at this very time, because I've been, I can't say wrestling with myself, but propelling myself into being more of who I know I am and have been in the past, and, you know, just really letting that show more. You know, I tend to keep things light, because sometimes we're just too serious. It's just not that serious. I mean, you get this age, it's like, really, yeah, all good. So I really have been focusing on everything that we talked about, spending my time in the morning to visualize, you know, go over my goals, read my word, write down my gratitudes, all these things that are being developed into habit now. And so my goals that we're talking about, you asked, what do I want out of this business and things. And as we were going through these different ones, it kept coming back to me how I can train my mind to stay focused on the things that get me to the one thing. So it's kind of like the book, The One Thing, What Can I Do Today, that would make everything else not necessary, you know, anymore. But just because all these things tie together, there's small things and it's a lot of little bitty things. But all those little bitty things are part of the processing of getting to being that person you see yourself being years from now or moments from now. You know, so the 10,000 is the first goal. That's a monetary goal. But what am I going to do with that 10,000? I have a list right there.
Gotcha.
Okay, right there.
Good.
So, and how that's going to progress over time. But it's not going to happen if I don't discipline, which I am. I just finished reading Master Key to Riches, and I threw Mr. Button, Mr. Haynes in there. So now I'm finished with that for the moment, but it's so impactful.
Yeah.
Reading and reading and taking in the seriousness that Napoleon Hill offers in his writing.
Yeah.
That all of this at one time is meant to propel us, and me specifically, because I'm talking, into being that person that can lead from the middle, John C. Maxwell, that can, speak with some authority and some clarity and all those things, who can feel a person, who can, step back when I need to, who can pull up when I need to. That person is there. That person has been that person before. That person has been reduced because of distractions and surroundings and chatter. Gotcha. And so you guys, I'm here. That's all I can tell you. I don't want to make any predictions, any promises, because it's all in God's timing.
Absolutely.
It's all in me being obedient to where I am in life, not projecting myself out of where He has me, exactly. but visualizing and moving myself toward where He wants me to go. I got to be where He has me.
Absolutely.
I just
oh yeah.
Do nothing else.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree that where we are right now, there is a reason that even when it comes to this pandemic, there is a reason. You cannot receive and respect a harvest when you have not gone through a sowing season, and you will not. It's to understand that you must go through challenges in order to respect the blessing that's going to come out. And people don't think that they can do anything during this time, and I say that is not the truth. Even more so, if you know who God is, He can produce in any season. So He so chooses to. And if you want to know how to build and create during an adversity, if you want to know how to build a business and empower people through it, you do it in spite of the adversity. That's how you overcome it. You don't allow it to dictate you. You take the charge because it's in you to do that. We've been given authority over everything. So yes, we can speak over what is taking place in the world because we have been that's been deposited us to do that. So you're right. This season we're in it for a reason, to show that we are powerful. The uncreated one has created us to be just that. So understand that. So that's very, very good point, Ms. Carter. Thank you so much for sharing. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we shut up. Ms. Hardy, you good?
Thank you, Ms. Carter. That was a good one. Yes. I'm good.
You good, Mr. Moore?
I'm great. This has been very good. Sometimes I'm grateful. Let me share this with you right quick. Because I'm listening and I putting everything together at the bottom of this, in light of who we are and knowing who we are, it seems to me that sponsoring people and bringing people into business, the last thing on our minds should be money, because it has to become an act of humility. And I think as we humble ourselves, that's where we're going to find all the resources that are already around us start to come along and come aboard to receive what we have. Maybe they're coming for money, but we know it's bigger than that, because they're going to get Miss Johnson, they're going to get Miss Carter, they're going to get Diana, they're going to get Mr. Benson, and the spirit of it, the rightness of it, because I think I'm just going to take the liberty to say that everybody I know that's on this call is here for the benefit of society. and the benefit of other people. I'm in this business not because I haven't been good at other things. I've been good at everything I've done, been successful at most of them, but they haven't created the type of freedom that I want for my family and for others, because my purpose is to impact the lives of other people in a greater way. And I have to have some outlet of doing that. And what I do on a daily basis as my business in the legal field is limited to the impact it can have in a positive way. This is unlimited because it can open doors for people. It can, first of all, it can do the first thing that network marketing did for me back years ago. First time I saw network marketing was Amway. First thing it did for me was allowed me to start dreaming again, allowed me to dust off what I thought as a little boy and a young man of myself and what I could do and the possibilities, and bringing that limitlessness back to my life. And I think that's my initial goal in talking to people, is to just dust off the dream for them, get them to thinking, what if this was real? What if this is not just a dream? What if this is just not some pie in the sky? Can I really do X, Y, Z for my family, for my neighborhood, for whatever their dream is? Because some people have dreams far beyond what I can imagine. And but anyway, I've just been blessed by this. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not trust in your own understanding. To agree with him or acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will make your path straight. And so that's why I say, I think just me personally, if I lack anything at times, it's that humility of saying, God, yeah, your way, we're going to do it your way. Because sometimes we react, or I react to things, and sometimes it's just habit. You just do things a certain way because you always done it a certain way. And it worked before, so you just assume it's going to work this time.
Come on.
And then at the end of the day, you find out that didn't work as well as I thought it was going to work. And, but with knowing the truth, like you said, Holy Spirit will tell you, well, I was talking to you and telling you to do it the right way. And so anyway, thank you, Ms. Johnson. Thank you for your boldness. Thank you for your love. This is a meeting of love. So thank you.
Welcome. My pleasure. Party.
First of all, I want to thank Everett, because I think you just gave me my topic for my Facebook Live that I was wondering what my topic was going to be, and it's going to be on habit and reactions. Yeah. So I've got to clean that up, but I thank you. No, this is I was actually, for many weeks now, I've been telling myself I've got to sit down and really clear my mind so that my focus is clear. I've got some momentum on the team growing, and I said I can't expect the team to have focus and to have clarity and to do the things that I'm asking them to do, and I'm still in a stuck state. And so I said, okay, I need to really start looking at all the things that just like Miss Carter was like, hey, I got this out of my head. And you're like, where'd you get that from? These are the same thing. That's because we've all been in the same school of personal development. And so these are similar to the same questions that I've had, but what has really keep honing in on me is you can think about it all day long, but if you don't act on it, what was the point? So I do a lot of thinking and I do a lot of planning, but it's the action that I have to choose to take that's going to unlock me being stuck. So this was some great thought-provoking, and not just let me think about it, but let's sit down and really put some action to it, because I'm good at making a list, then taking that and acting upon that is the next step. And you know, we talked about increase, you know, where do you see yourself, you know, next week, month, next year, 5 years, whatever. And when I look back 17 months ago, of course, this is not where I saw myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that I'm not even living in my potential because of the actions that I should be doing. So this is good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You said something that I meant to share earlier. The increase comes from God. And it comes from the only person that provided. And so you're right. It's all about positioning. And I don't want to go into too much more because it's almost 2 hours and we've been on here, but positioning is so important. I'm not talking about in structure. I'm not talking about in the I'm talking about positioning. Like I said earlier, alignment is very important. Knowing where you are right now in your life and what you need to do is very important. Taking the action. I wrote down on my little card, it says here, one of my goals, I will personally sponsor 5 new legs every month. I can do all things to strengthen me. I said, Latanya, that looks cute on this little yellow card. It's real cute. It doesn't happen until you call somebody that you're scared to call. And I called that person. That person already said they were getting in. They saw the either side. They were on the call. That's just one. The second person I called, who is has a good heart gentleman, he's already saying, I have a few more questions. He's a green, and a money person. So that's 2 possible legs. Almost one I know is coming in. 2 possible. Then there's a third lady coming on the call today. She didn't make it the other day. She had called and apologized and said, hey, Ms. Johnson, my phone died. I have my child's graduation. When's your next meeting? I said 9 o'clock tonight. She says, I'm going to set my alarm. That's 3 people. I said, I'm going to do 5 legs of new business. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I said I was going to do 5 legs, and I've only called 3 or 4 people. One said no. Yay! Done. I'm pressing. I had to take the action. I had to get out of myself. I had to get out of here. And I had to quit making decisions for people who had never heard of this opportunity. The gentleman never heard, the one that needs questions answered, never heard of my boomerang, but yet his son has been approached in the business, is already in. Y'all hear me? His son is in the business. He called me saying, Ms. Johnson, can you tell me how I can put people into the business? Because I don't understand. Darling, you've been approached by somebody else. You've been sponsored by somebody else. I will talk to you, but I'm not going to give you all my time. I will bless your father. I will give him some direction, but I'm going to bless his father and put him in the business. Guys, you're right, Diane. It's action. That's all I got to say. It just takes the action. And that's one place where I've always lacked, because I'm not a big sponsor. I understand that. I will become a big sponsor, though. I'm not going to stay where I was. Remember, I'm going to go to where I want to be. I will become a major sponsor. People are seeking me who have the ability to get started. They are coachable, teachable, trainable. They have their self-starters. I have all those 4, 5, 6, 10 checkers. Those people are looking for Latanya right now. Such a time as this for each and one of you. I speak that into your lives. People that you've been talking to, they're not in this business, so be it, but there are those who are seeking you right now. They're seeking who you are right now. So I speak that and declare that over you guys. I love you. Guys, thank you for getting on this call today. I pray that you guys were blessed. Jeremy, God bless you, brother, for waiting and a call. You're all right with me, dude.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
God bless you too.
God bless you, brother. Have a good day.
God bless everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jeremy. Dual team. Congratulations. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's binary qualified and he hit 100 customers.
Yes.
Hey, I just signed up a new driver right now.
Oh,
yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, right there. Hey, Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs.
I know, right?
We'll talk soon,
So
y'all.
I'm at a wedding, but I'm still signing up customers and drivers and riders.
Do what you got to do.
Right.
I love it, man. I love it.
Love it.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you,
All
guys.
right, thank you, Ms. Johnson.
You're welcome. Have a great